What's the dumbest excuse someone has ever gave for failing something? I was giving my students an open book test, and everything was going smoothly, except for one kid. He wasn't writing, he wasn't flipping through his notes, he wasn't even holding a pencil. He was just sitting there, motionless and out of it, staring straight ahead like he was in a trance. I walked up and asked, "Hey, you good?" Nothing. At this point, I was half convinced I had just discovered a new form of sleep paralysis. I crouched down next to him and whispered, "If you don't take the test, you'll fail." Then, with painfully slow movement, he turned his head toward me, lifted his hand, and gave me a single thumbs up. But then, he put his head down like he had just completed the most exhausting task of his life. The entire class was staring at him, trying to figure out if he was a genius or just completely checked out. He sat like that, the entire test. When it was time to collect papers, he casually handed me a completely blank sheet. I held it up. "You didn't write a single thing." He nodded. "Yeah," I sighed. "Do you want to tell me why?" He took a deep breath, looked me dead in the eyes, and said with full confidence, "I was protesting." I just blinked. Protesting what? The test. I told him it was open book, but he still argued it. But I forgot my notebook, so it wasn't fair to me. The class exploded. One kid fell out of his chair from laughing too hard. I just stared at him, trying to figure out if I had just witnessed peak stupidity or peak confidence. Finally, I sighed, handed back his completely blank test, and asked, "Did you actually think that would work?" He shrugged. Had to try. The next day, I placed his test back on his desk with a huge red zero. He looked at it and just nodded silently. That was the last time he ever protested.